Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Brigade of Flames, Chapter 174. When we last left off, we had a little bit more training with Shinra and Benimaru, where Shinra seems to have at least gotten the start of a handle on Super Fire, or Super Flame, I think it's Super Fire. Anyway, then we cut to Conro and Huang and Hibana, where they're all trying to put the pieces together of everything. Then we cut back to Hague in the 4th Brigade, who is fighting and maybe killed by the Butcher, who is a new servant of the Evangelist. So let's jump right on into Chapter 174, Omen of Upheaval. Our picture is of several characters, including Burns, and one of the 1st Brigade guys. I think that's Kareem in the hat. I can't tell who these other two are. The art style is too different. But yeah, they're just there in a weird art style. I don't know. So we're open with a flashback with who I'm assuming is Hague. It is a fire soldier's duty to protect human life amongst other things. But the most important life is that of your own. If you lose that, then you can no longer save lives. And he's looking over a body bag. You must not react to the death of subordinates. Pan, you must keep yourself calm at all times. And move around the scene of the fire with care, but also love. So yeah, this is back when he was training Pan, way back when. Is Pan supposed to be older than Shinra? Right? I feel like he is. So this was a while ago. We aren't heroes, because we are ultimately the same as the victims we try to save. And Pan asks him, "Do you admire heroes?" "I suppose I do. I think it would be nice if such a thing that surpassed human understanding existed." And then we cut to the present, where I think Hague is actually dead. Alright. I mean, I should have figured after Nether 2 we were diving deep into darkness now, but, like, we're just killing off people now. You know, we went from, before Nether 2, 0 main characters had died, besides Rekka, if Rekka counts, to, in the past 20 chapters or so, we now have had... Admittedly, Hajiki was not that much of an important character yet, and Hague was still fairly minor. But still, like, this right here is a gruesome way to go. Hajiki got the top half of his head chopped off. There's just death going on now. And yeah, Pan kind of grimaces at it. And then Pan blows his whistle. Help me to bring him down from there. And so we see Pan has taken Hague's lessons to heart. As, you know, he is not grieving, he's just getting to work and putting his personal feelings aside. There are no visible signs of conflict. Is there a possibility that Captain Hague might have killed himself? That's not Pan, the other guy. Since the Great Fire 2 years ago, Captain Hague has become quite strange. But he's not the kind of person that would just take his own life. Which means whoever did this didn't give Captain Hague a fighting chance, making them an extremely dangerous enemy. So yeah, Hague is just dead. He's taken out in a heart. I mean, that probably could have been assumed after last week, but still, just be utterly brutalized like this. Meanwhile, back with Shinra, he's just kind of grinning. As Tamaki comments, "The flames are burning quietly, but they're extremely hot." And Benimaru pipes up, "They've grasped it. And we see this, like, light either come into or out of Shinra's eye. I can't tell which. And he sees Hague. Captain Hague? This is an Adola link? And he sees Hague skewered with the knives of the Butcher and fall and be hung like the crucified way we see earlier in the chapter. As Hague's ghost, I guess, just chants, "Not yet, not yet, not yet," as his teeth chatter, and Shinra just kind of has that scared grin on his face. Not yet, not yet. So that's how death looks like. Is this super fire? Not yet, not yet, I can't die here. He still has that ever more creepy grin. Captain Shinmon, is that? Yep. Flame summoned from surpassing your limit. We're back in the present, by the way. Not bad, you two. You finally did it. And they snap back to consciousness just in time to collapse. I'm not entirely sure what happened with Arthur, because Arthur should not have an Adola link. So I'm not sure if Arthur saw anything. We didn't really get any part of Arthur's head in that sequence. But anyway, they're both out. Remember that feeling for next time. And just then, Conroe opens the door. Training seems to be going well for the first day. And Arthur looks up. What did I just do? And Shinra is kind of grimacing at all this, and to the point that it gets Benimaru's attention. What's wrong, Shinra? And he thinks to himself, that was the pressure of death. And then he says, Captain Hague is dead? And then we cut to the funeral. As the fire soldiers are lining the coffin, as Pan blows his whistle, and what's his face? Ogun, Shinra's friend, whose name I think it's Ogun. He gives the final salute to Hague's passing. We see smoke billowing from a building. The final call from the higher-ups was that Hague committed suicide. But that shocking scene with a dead body pierced with stakes was anything but a suicide. And we cut to Conroe sweeping the floor outside. And Conroe stops at Benimaru, and Benimaru responds, well, Shinra and the others will be here soon. They always arrive early. Young master, about Company 4 is Hague. The White Clouds might come back. Don't do anything without telling me, Conroe. Remember what Shinra and the others said? It's time for the Empire to band together. And Benimaru walks up and turns around. I don't care, as long as there are positives for Asakusa and Company 8. So we see that he's starting to care about Company 8 now. That's a plus. Benimaru is still not a big fan of the Empire. And, given that he did just bust some heads at their church not that long ago in universe, it's been a year for us, though, but, it's understandable. Meanwhile, at the church, we see someone's praying. The flame is the soul's breath. The black smoke is the soul's release. Ashes is ashes. May thy soul return to the great flame of fire. Baton. And it's Burns. As the two non-Rekka leaders of the first, Loyan Fi and Kareem. Kareem speaks first. Captain Hague appears to have died in the line of duty. You also have the stigma, Captain Burns. Please be careful. Perhaps you consider bodyguards. And both Loyan and Kareem look at him, but Burns assuages them. This is a test from God, and if that's the case, as part of the Holy Company 1 must set an example. We must never succumb to terrorism, and we must use ourselves to prove that. We must be one with the Holy Sol's flame. And Loyan responds, become God's sword, and Kareem picks up and dispel the darkness. And we cut to somewhere else, as the White Clads, featuring Ritsu and Inka and Haumea and Charon and Giovanni. Giovanni seems to be wearing more white this time. I feel like he was more of a wearing black kind of person, especially his hats. But yeah, they're somewhere in town. And Haumea just grins. Well, time to get this country back. And she turns around, enjoying the not-so-fresh air, and Sho is there. Uh-huh. The Fire Force has been rocked by the death of Hague. There's no stopping the White Clads and the newly resurfaced Sho. Just what is their goal now that they're above ground? To be continued to 175, Nexus of Belief. No chapter next week. I feel like we just had that like a month ago. Yeah. Another great chapter. Again, Fire Force is a phenomenal series, and I cannot wait for the anime to come out so people can learn just what they've been missing. Holy shit. First thing to talk about is, of course, the death of Hague. And so my initial concern was that Hague is just not that important of a character for... I was worried the show would try to bring forth this unearned bit of pathos for Hague, given that Hague had shown up once for like a 5-chapter arc 2 years ago, and we had barely seen him since. But it didn't, which was to its credit. It did not. We see how Hague's death affects Pan and Ogun, who are the people who would be affected by Hague's death more than anyone else. And the fact that an important member of the Brigade is dead affects the rest of the Brigade, which is the far more important thing that Hague's death does. So yeah, good work, good handling on Hague's demise. The funeral scene is also just really good in its silence. It's only like a single page. But it gets the things we need. We see Pan is reacting to it the only way he can with his whistle. And Ogun is just being strong and saluting. But yeah. Beyond that, we know that the White Hoods, the White Clads, whatever we're calling them now, are back. We don't know what they're after this time, besides, of course, setting the world on fire, as is their normal plan. But beyond that, we don't know. The focus on Burns, Loyan, and Kareem implies they may be coming for Burns next, which would explain why they have so many troops with them, because that is what it will take to take down Leonardo Burns. In other news, Inca is back, which is always great. Inca was robbed from having a part in Nether 2, but she's here, along with Sho, which is, of course, the big reveal of the chapter. That Sho is back and ready to, and re-brainwashed after Nether 1. And yeah, we'll find out more about that in 2 whole weeks. That's a ways away. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to do. Everything I have to say for this chapter. So hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or do whatever makes you happy, you know? And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!